Laser sights increase confidence regardless of experience level, whether you're learning the fundamentals or overcoming aging eyes. Crimson Trace, making laser sight standard equipment. Visit crimsontrace.com to find a dealer near you.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, a low-cost practice gun for everyone? Absolutely. Permitless carry? Yep, Missouri's got it figured out. Now how do we get the rest of the country to follow suit? Looking for a life-changing perspective? The proper training can provide just that. All this in your range reports on today's Gun Talk. Now here's the man in the captain's chair, Tom Gresham.
Well, howdy, Tom Gresham here. We are having some fun today. We're going to talk about guns and events in the news. Also, we'll talk about your range reports. Looking for your range reports right now. Be a good time to give us a holler. 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. It certainly will get you in here. We're also going to be doing something kind of fun today. Somewhere along the way, I'm going to give away stuff. I don't want it to sound like it's junk, but it's stuff that we have that we get. We just get stuff sent to us. And it could be anything from gun cleaning supplies to hats to shirts to, who knows? I don't know. It's just stuff in the back that Sarah and Rachel and the crew been digging around. They said, get rid of this stuff, Tom. I said, okay, we'll give some of that stuff away. So if you give us a call, I'm going to pick a couple of people throughout the course of the show, and we will make that happen for you. 866-TALK-GUN. What have you been shooting? What have you taken out to the range? What are you thinking about buying? I guarantee you people right now are looking at the election. They're going, I think maybe I ought to buy something before the election. Well, number one, yes, you probably should. And number two, what is it? What are you thinking about buying? I would love to get your take on that. We have news breaking, of course, today. We have two explosive devices, i.e. bombs. One went off in New York, New Jersey, and the other they found unexploded. We also have an attack in St. Cloud, Minnesota, in a mall. A guy with a knife, now get ready for this, wearing a security guard uniform, asking people if they are Muslim, and knifing them until a good guy with a gun comes along, in this case an off-duty police officer, and shoots him dead. At which point he stopped cutting people. How about that? Good guy with a gun. What a concept. ISIS has already claimed or said that, hey, these are our soldiers, our ISIS soldiers. Now, I understand that they may not be connected exactly, but ISIS lays claim to it because it helps them for their publicity and their fundraising and their recruitment. At the same time, I think there probably are at the very least, ISIS sympathizers, i.e. terrorists. You know, what's that old saying? It's not paranoia if it's already happening to you, or if they're really out to get you. Well, there we are. They really are out to get us, and it really is happening, so it's not paranoia. And for those who say, oh, you guys, you just, can you even imagine that you guys think you could stop a terrorist attack with your little pistol? Yeah, guy just did it. Guy just did it in a mall in Minnesota. Shot him dead. Stopped him from stabbing more people. That's a win. Have you changed what you do? And I'm going to throw something out here. I know I've talked about this, about maybe carrying more ammo. I don't know. I think the thing that needs to change for most people who carry guns for self-defense, if you're thinking about terrorist attacks or multiple assailant attacks, is not really necessarily a change in equipment. I would offer that the change that needs to happen is a change in mindset brought on through training. Assuming you have a decent gun and you're not carrying a little pop gun, but you have a decent gun, then it really is a matter of training. Can you shoot? Can you move? Can you communicate while you're doing all of that? Do you know how to avoid hitting the good guys while you're hitting the bad guy? Well, that's just a matter of training and recurrent training and practice. Getting involved in competition is certainly one way to go, because when you do that, you end up shooting a lot of targets. You shoot fast, you shoot on the move. Really a pretty good way to tune up your skills. But at the same time, it's not tactics, and you need training and tactics. By the way, we're giving away stuff here. You have the FN Pistol Power September giveaway. This is going to be ending on Friday, the 30th of September. Just go to guntalk.com/win. Grand prize winner is going to get an FNS 40. First prize winner is going to get an FN Neon Light. And we've got 20 people are going to win the second prize, an FN Counter Mat. Go to guntalk.com/win. Guntalk now is on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV players. Just search for Gun Talk on those. And, of course, we still have the Gun Dealio app for your smartphone, which we're sending out super deals. There have been some ammo deals that are exclusive to the Gun Dealio app. If you're thinking about getting ammo and you want good prices on it, you really need to download this free app, Gun Dealio. You can go to gundealio.com, or you can do it from Google Play or the Apple App Store. That'll work for you. So there you go. Question on the floor is, have you changed anything in the way that you carry, what you do, where you go? Have you, what is it they say, let them change the way you live your life? Or are you just going about your business and being a little bit more careful? Also, range reports. What are you shooting? What are you thinking about buying? Are you getting ready for the hunting seasons, which, of course, in some places, some parts of the country, hunting seasons are already here. I mean, it's there. So if you're already hunting, I'd love to get your hunting report. I got a buddy who keeps sending me pictures in Idaho. He's bow hunting for elk. Sends me reports, says, yeah, I heard them bugling, couldn't get close. Next day, nothing bugling. But I'm living vicariously through that as I'm sitting in the office. I'd love to do the same for you. Are you any teal hunters out there? 866-TALK-GUN. We have open lines. What is your take on what is going on? 866-TALK-GUN.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. Galleryofguns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
If you carry a gun, you need training. Your concealed carry class was definitely not training. But time, money, and obligations keep you from spending days at a shooting school. The trusted folks at Gun Talk can help. Concealed Carry 1, our DVD featuring the VADA Group, covers what gun, what holster, how to carry, where to wear your gun, and much more. Visit shopguntalk.com. That's shopguntalk.com. Look, this really is life and death. Learn how to stay aware, how to get away, and how to fight if you must. At shopguntalk.com, you can get the 2 DVD set, including Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. No matter what gun you carry, this vital training info can save your life. Learn the draw, the stance, reloading, vital gear from Gun Talk. That's shopguntalk.com. shopguntalk.com.
The Black Hills. There's nothing like it on Earth. The kind of place where characters become legends. Wild Bill Hickok, Crazy Horse, Calamity Jane. Pick any part of the world and you'll find people go there to make it their own. But this is where people come to get made. This is the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth. Black Hills Ammunition.
All right, Missouri legislature voted and they overrode the governor's veto. So now Missouri has constitutional carry. You do not have to have a permit to carry a gun concealed for your own protection in Missouri. We'll talk a bit more about that a little bit later in the show, but I do want to touch on that because the New York Times just basically got itself into a full-blown hissy fit over that. Their editorial, Missouri, the shoot me state. I'm sure they think that's very clever. Let's see. The law will let citizens carry concealed weapons in public without a state gun permit, criminal background check, or firearms training. It strips local law enforcement of its current authority to deny firearms to those guilty of domestic violence. No. If you're guilty of domestic violence, you can't own a gun at all. You can't legally hold a gun at all. But the New York Times either doesn't know that or chooses to mislead its readers about that. Said it establishes a dangerous stand your ground standard that will allow gun owners to shoot and claim self-defense. Yeah, well, so here's the thing. Constitutional carry is now the law, or before this was passed, was the law in 10 other states. And none of them has been a problem. And yet, just like we saw over the last 25 years as state after state passed concealed carry, and people, the media kept saying, well, there will be blood in the streets. There will be shootouts everywhere, even though it's never happened anywhere else. Same thing's happening here. So we get things like, I love this line. This is from the New York Times. It provides further evidence that gun safety cannot be left to state lawmakers beholden to the gun lobby. So we can't let our elected representatives actually do what we tell them to do. Huh? That's just weird. It says the measure was enacted by the Republicans despite strong public opposition. Really? Unlikely. And warnings about the threat to public safety from the state Police Chiefs Association. Well, I will admit that some of the police are upset that they don't now have the ability to keep you from having a gun based on whatever they want. And trust me, happens a lot. Let's see. One of the legislators, a Democrat, said that this measure would allow individuals with a criminal records to legally carry a concealed firearm, even though they had been or would have been denied a permit under the old law's background check. That's the point of it. If someone is not prohibited from having a gun or owning a gun, they should not necessarily be prohibited from carrying a gun. This is that old deal of, well, you haven't actually committed a crime that prevents you from having a gun, but we don't really like you. Really? It's just a weird way of thinking there. Let's go talk to Ben. He's on line 3 out of Oregon. Hey, Ben, welcome to Gun Talk.
We're debating Hillary Clinton, and I hope Trump gets to do that. The argument I would use is the very foundation of this nation was based on God, gun, and gutless, and guts. And when the godless, gunless, and gutless take over a nation, the nation will crumble. It's just like a building. If the foundation of a building rots and crumbles, the building crumbles. If this nation is taken over by the godless, gunless, and gutless, this nation will crumble. That is the argument I would use.
Well, and Ben, I appreciate the call. I think we're about 52 days from finding out if that's going to be the case, because this election is it's for everything. If you're a gun owner, it most certainly is for everything. Hillary Clinton saying that she would ban guns, as many as she possibly could get away with. She would try to change the gun culture. What does that mean? Well, what it means is she would try to poison the public so that anybody who owns a gun is viewed as being suspect. Can you imagine the nameless, faceless bureaucrats in the federal government being given the ability to put you on a list that prevents you from, of course, flying? Oh, you're on the terrorist watch list. How'd you get on there? I don't know. How'd you get off of it? I don't know. Who put you on there? I don't know. What criteria did they use? I don't know. But now you can't fly commercially. Oh, and, while we're at it, we're going to freeze your bank accounts, too, because that's what we do for terrorists. And turns out that, oh, yeah, how you got on there? Well, you were a member of the NRA. Sound crazy? Sound paranoid? Not at all. It's already been suggested by some of the gun banners. Susan's in Montana on line 2. Hey, Susan, welcome to Gun Talk.
I'm actually from Minnesota. I'm just passing through Montana and ran across your station. My comment is on the St. Cloud shooting and the fact that it happened in greater Minnesota, which is not including Minneapolis, St. Paul, which is a whole different area. The rest of it doesn't surprise me that he was stopped. Most people in our area do carry guns. We carry them all the time. We use them, they're weapons, yes, but they're also used for many other things. I mean, it's just amazing how when I travel and see the different laws that are out there regarding the guns, and we teach our kids from little on. You don't play with guns. They're a tool. They're a weapon, and, we teach them safety. We have young children deer hunting, if they're not holding a gun, they're at least going out there with their dad and watching. And so the difference is that's coming out as far as the NRA and, banning guns. I say good luck in Minnesota.
Let me ask you, Susan, do you have a carry permit? Do you ever carry a gun?
Absolutely. Our retired chief of police teaches a class monthly and believes that all women should be armed because the world was a friendlier place when it was.
What was it that made you decide to do that? Was there something particular that happened in your life?
No, absolutely not. No, it was just suggested, and so my girlfriend was on a shooting team, and she said you should go get your conceal and carry. I've been shooting a 410 since I was like 16, and so it really wasn't that much of a big difference other than I don't have to carry a great big bulky gun, and
yeah. So, all right, well, so you took the class, you carry a gun. Do you carry all the time?
Well, it depends on where I'm going because there's some states that it is not recognized in, such as California and Utah and things like that. But if I'm traveling up here in the upper Midwest, absolutely. It's recognized.
Okay,
and,
but when you're home, when you're in Minnesota, you carry? I
have it with me. It's usually with me. It's become part of my, part of what I carry when I go places along with my camera and my cell phone.
There you go. Well, that's absolutely perfect, Susan. Look, be careful. Keep getting training. Go back and get training every year. It's important. I thank you for your call. Ben is in Texas, in Ellis County, Texas, on 1. Hey, Ben, talk to me.
Tom, I was wanting to ask the question, how come for almost 50 years no one has ever attempted to attack the root problem of all gun ownership, and that's the Federal Firearms Act of 1968. I would suggest that anyone who owns a gun read that law. You can Google it, and it lists everything from the definitions. And I know I've heard you talk about, an AR is not an assault weapon or an assault rifle. It's a sporting rifle. Well, if you read the law, and it's easy to read, you don't have to have a law degree. They define the ARs, SKSs, AKs, as a semi-automatic assault weapon, and they go on, a rifle, and they go on further to define who can and who cannot own a weapon. And for 50 years almost, just 2 years short of 50 years, I haven't heard of one legislature or one Second Amendment Foundation or NRA or anybody saying we're going after the root problem. All they seem to be doing is trimming away at the weed. And I want to know, is there some kind of way of going after this?
Yeah, I understand. I'm just going to say right here, I love the way you think, because I've always said I'm willing to compromise with the gun banners, because they always said, well, won't you guys compromise? And I said, well, sure, I'll compromise. Rather than repeal all gun control laws, I'll just repeal half of them this year, and then next year we'll repeal half, and then next year we'll repeal half of what's left. So that's my form of compromise. First of all, let me just say, I have read Gun Control Act of 1968. I do not remember anything in there about assault weapons. I'm going to go back and look at it again, but that's new to me. I don't remember that being in there. But to your point, yes, That would be ideal. The problem is this, Ben. From a realistic, what could we get done standpoint, that's not going to happen. Nobody in Congress, you won't find somebody who's going to say, let's repeal the Gun Control Act of 1968. So what you have to do is you whittle away at it, you chop, and do everything you can and get what you can when you can, but you can't get it all at once. For those who don't know, the GCA 68, the reason they were able to pass it is we had just had 3 major historical events that were assassinations. John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and Robert Kennedy were all assassinated, shot and killed. On the basis of that and in the aftermath of that, Congress just whipped in and said, we have to do something. Boom. And all of a sudden, here is Senator Dodd with this document. Wow, that's interesting, Senator Dodd. It was called the Dodd Bill. Where did that come from? This is going to start to sound real paranoid, and you're going to think, Tom, you're really out there. But if you go look it up, the folks at the Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership tracked it down. Senator Dodd was actually, I think it was in the embassy in Germany. I think it was the embassy, but he was in Germany. He brought back the German gun control law. Gun Control Act of 1968, that is our current law of the land, is an almost word-for-word translation of the original, yes, wait for it, Nazi German gun control law. Don't have to take my word for it. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds paranoia. But if you go look it up and look for the translation, go to the JPFO, Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership website, you will see side-by-side documents, and you're going to go, well, I'll be darned, son of a gun. That clearly is where that came from. How bizarre is that? And also, wow, that explains a lot. All right, you know how I'm always telling you got to shoot more? I mean, practice is everything. Training is everything. Well, how do you shoot more? Well, we got some ideas for you. There are ways that you can shoot more and get some good training and have a whole bunch of fun without spending a lot of money. That's what we're going to talk about when we come back. 866-TALK-GUN. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk.
Sign up for our Gun Talk newsletter and join the Truth Squad at www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk with Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
Well, alrighty, by the way, Dan, I know you can't hold, but here's the deal. That car you're thinking about buying, it's a good one. Car makes good stuff, so we appreciate that. Let's see, I talk a lot about the value of training, the value of shooting a lot, of practice, trigger time. Just get as much trigger time as you possibly can. And I know that not everybody can go out to the range all the time. None of us can. Nobody gets to shoot as much as he or she would like. It costs money. It takes time. There are things in the way. You have heard me before talk about the value of today's adult air guns and that whole genre. Well, I decided to let's get somebody in here who knows a whole lot more about that than I do. Val Gamerman is joining us right now from Pyramyd Air. Val, thanks for joining us, man.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Adult air guns are definitely not your granddaddy's BB gun, are they?
No, they're not. Way past that.
Okay, so for someone who says, okay, I want to do some training, let's touch on like 2 or 3 different things. You can get essentially a duplicate of the gun that you carry, your handgun, that's either available in airsoft or in BB gun or pellet form. It feels like it works like it'll actually fit in the holster, right?
That is very true. There is a lot of replicas out there today. Can't stress enough that they look and act in a lot of ways exactly like real firearm. So you have to be careful when using them. Do not brandish them. That is what we always say. But it does give you an option to practice shooting guns in your basement safely, much safer than a real firearm.
Right. But you can shoot in your garage, in your basement. I will have to admit, I have done it in my hallway. I've put targets down in the hallway and just told everybody, don't come in the hallway right now, we're shooting. Yeah, you have to have an understanding family.
I can't tell you, Tom. One of the things that kind of intrigued me the most is the not and the fact that you can do it so much more affordably. But I'm executive. I don't have time to go to the range. I just don't. I try to spend my time with my family as much as I can. And a trip to the range means at least 3-4 hours. And I don't have that time. I don't have that time on the weekends. I don't have that time at night. I just don't have it. And that's something I can shoot in my basement without waking up the whole house after 10 o'clock at night. Just 50, 100 shots is all it takes for me to feel better for the day, and that's great. It really is.
Well, yeah. And the other thing it will do for you, I mean, like to your point of you've been out working all day, you come home, and we talked about this before, the idea of, okay, now it's trigger time. Now I've got my time, and it could be by yourself, but it might be with the whole family. Let's put the whole family together. Now we're going to have this family activity that we don't even have to leave the house to do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's something I can enjoy with my 17-year-old or a 6-year-old. Bring them downstairs into the basement. I have a little range set up. It's great. It's a good way to connect with the kids. I can tell you that right now.
The how good, how accurate, how powerful are today's adult type air guns?
Well, there is a whole wide spectrum of air guns out there. It's all the way from a Red Ryder, Daisy Red Ryder that we all know, and that's not powerful, but it's really fun BB gun to shoot, all the way to large caliber air rifles that are 50 caliber air rifles that are used for hunting. Some of them are as powerful as 500 foot-pounds muzzle energy, and that's definitely not a Red Ryder BB gun. Not something you can enjoy shooting in your basement. It's not necessarily quiet, although there are quieter versions. But people hunt wild hogs with them, deer in the states where it is legal. There is absolutely unbelievable breadth of different air guns out there today.
Amazing. Now, tell everybody about Pyramyd Air. And let me just tell, if you're trying to find it, it's done with Ys, Pyramydair, Pyramyd Air. So what is Pyramyd Air?
Well, Pyramyd Air is the largest air gun retailer in the world. It is true. We probably have the best selection of air guns in the world. We have everything from A to Z. When it comes to a brand that is worth carrying, and when it comes to a brand, we like to represent the brand well, which means you will find probably every SKU, every item that brand has. But what really makes us different is the fact that despite having a website, just like any business out there these days it does, we really take pride in our call center and tech support. And when you come to our website, you will really potentially get lost. If you don't know exactly what you want to buy, you will see so many choices, so much information. You have a chance of getting overwhelmed. And if you do, we have a call center standing by to be able to guide you in your choice and really help you find the air gun that is good for your needs and fits your needs.
But it's funny you say that, because I'm looking online right now and I'm thinking I am lost. I mean, I would have no, if you don't have any background in this, you're going, well, what is this? What does that do? So you can somebody could call you guys and you have somebody actually talk you through and say, okay, where are you going to shoot? What do you want to do? How much do you want to spend? The whole deal. Yeah.
What distance you're going to be shooting at? What it is that you want to do with it? Do you want to just do you have a problem with squirrels or eating your garden harvest this year, or what? Or you just want to shoot soda cans, or you truly want to go and hunt wild hogs? And promise you one thing: we will never ever recommend you something you don't want or don't need. Just because you have money doesn't mean you want to spend $1,000 on an air gun. Although you could, we'll recommend the right product for your needs. 150 years of air gun experience combined is what we take pride in.
150 years of air gun experience.
If you take and add up all the experience that we have internally between call center and tech, that is what it adds up to, at least.
Wow. All right, I'm looking on the website. Is this the number, that 888 number?
That is correct.
Okay, 888-262-GUNS.
Yep, 888-262-4867. I mean, we're well known. We advertise everywhere we can. We hold an air gun range at every NRA meeting every year. So a lot of NRA members know us. A lot of firearm guys know us. But one thing that not everybody knows is that it's more than just a website.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the idea that I could call and say, okay, I want to get into this. I don't know where to start. I love that concept. Let me give that number out again. It's 888-262-GUNS. If you want to go on the website, it is Pyramyd Air with Y's instead of I's, pyramydair.com. Val, I thank you, man. That is a wonderful resource, and I am a huge, huge proponent of adult air guns and all the trigger time you can get with those things.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You take care. Yeah, that is a very cool site, by the way. You will get lost, but in the meantime, you'll be learning a ton of stuff as you wander around the website, pyramydair.com. All right, open lines for you now, 866-TALK-GUN. If you've been wanting to get in, now is your chance. We've got a couple of empty lines. You can get in on that. What have you been shooting? What have you taken to the range? Give me your range report. 866-TALK-GUN.
Responsible owners control access to their firearms, even when they may need them in a hurry. Liberty Safe, the nation's leader in gun safes, offers 6 models of handgun vaults. Strong, simple to use, opened with a key or fingerprint. Put your handgun in the compact vault, lock it away until you need it. Then it's in your hand almost instantly. Pick the Liberty Safe handgun vault that's right for you. LibertySafeHD.com.
The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently. When it comes to personal protection, nothing beats a Bodyguard. Choose the lightweight, compact, and concealable Bodyguard 380 pistol or the Bodyguard 38 revolver, both with a built-in laser sight. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently.
If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created Gun Dealio. That's a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, you know. You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? Gun Dealio. Made in America. Gluten-free. At the App Store and Google Play or GunDealio.com.
Hi, this is Joe. I bought a silencer from Silencer Shop, and it was a pretty amazing experience. I simply went to silencershop.com, followed the instructions, purchased my silencer, and they took care of the rest. My local firearm dealer called me when my silencer arrived. Did you know a silencer is an important accessory that offers an added hearing protection and greater shooting accuracy? It's great for hunters and those who want to enjoy more social interaction during shooting sports. Visit silencershop.com to find a silencer for your firearm.
All right, this morning I'm looking at the television news, and they're talking about the bomb that went off in New York, in Chelsea area, the one that they found that had not gone off. We have the knifing, stabbing attack of 8, maybe 9 people in a mall in Minnesota. And we have the officials saying, well, you know, it's too early to tell if this is terrorism. Now, we have, of course, people saying they were asking if you're Muslim, and if you said no, you were getting knifed. So, but it's too early to tell if this is terrorism. Guys, you know, if it walks like a duck, you know, and it flies like a duck, and it and it talks like a duck. It's terrorism, you doofus. And now, of course, ISIS is saying, well, those are our guys. You think? I mean, give me a break. Of course it's terrorism. That's what it is. And then we have them saying, well, it's a good thing that we had a police officer on the scene. Although I did hear one of the commentators on CNN say, well, we had an off-duty police officer with a concealed carry permit. Of course, he's confused. They don't have to have a carry permit. They have a badge. But either way, a good guy with a gun stopped this guy from hurting more people. Always a good thing. But I would just suggest to you, this is an out-of-the-way place in St. Cloud, Minnesota. It's not New York City. Figuratively, it's in your neighborhood. It's everywhere. And the whole idea of, well, I'll carry one, depending on where I'm going, but mostly I'm in safe places. No, you're not. You're simply not. We'll talk about that a bit in the after show. Jim had an experience with that last week. Let's go to line 3. Marlon is with us in Carson City, Nevada. Hey, Marlon, what's your range report?
Well, I'd like to talk about the Ruger SR9 and SR9C because not many people really talk about them very much.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I found them, of course, I'm kind of a Ruger fan anyways, and I bought the Ruger SR9C for concealed carry, and also I bought the full size, and I find them, accurate. They're easy to break down, when you clean them, and I found them so far very, very reliable.
I have said for several years that I thought the Ruger SR9 and SR9C were terribly underrated and overlooked, and deserved close attention, close consideration as a carry gun, especially because, and let me get your take on this, Marlon, I find that the guns fit my hands very well, and they're really, really thin. I mean, they're as thin or maybe even a little bit thinner than a 1911.
Yes, I agree. They fit my hands perfectly. And what's really cool about the compact is, they come with a 10-round magazine, but with an extension grip, you can use the full-size 17-round magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with that, which I think is great because it kind of gives you a little extra when if you need it.
Absolutely. Well, you know what happened with the SR9, and it probably is the reason that it doesn't get quite the attention that it deserves. It's when it first came out, it did not have a great trigger, and even Ruger will say, "Hey, look, it didn't have a great trigger." And a lot of us shot it and went, okay, man, it feels good in the hands, but trigger's not so great, and I don't think I like it. And then they came out with the SR9C, and literally, they sent us one to test. And I got it in, I'm going, yeah, gosh, I got to go out and shoot this thing. And I took it out, racked the slide, tried the trigger, and just went, that's different. And tried it 2 or 3 more times. And I immediately grabbed the phone, I called and said, okay, guys, what happened here? Because this is not the same trigger that's in the SR9. They said, yeah, we greatly improved the trigger. I said, well, are you going to put that in the SR9? He said, yeah, we're going to put that in the SR9, the full-size one, too. So the ones you have the good triggers. And anybody who tried them before and didn't care for them, I would encourage them to go back and take a look at them. It is a really, really good platform. Marlon, do you carry all the time?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you carry all the time?
Every opportunity I get.
I get what you're saying. I understand. Message received. I appreciate that. Thank you for the call, Marlon. If you can carry and you can keep it concealed, I would encourage you to carry, as Marlon says, every opportunity you can. You can figure out where that is. I wouldn't carry it into a place that's going to get you arrested if you get caught with it there. But if it's a place where they're just going to ask you to leave if you get caught there, yeah, you know what I'm going to say. 866-TALK-GUN. Where do you carry? All right, let's go straight to the phones. Jim's with us on line 1 out of Kansas. Hey, Jim. What kind of range report you got for me?
I wanted to talk about a Glock 20, which is the 10 millimeter.
Okay. Do you have one?
I'm sorry?
Do you have one?
Yeah, I just bought one.
How you like it?
I love it. It amazes me. I spend a lot of time in bush in Alaska, and I used to carry a 44, but I thought 15 rounds of 10 millimeter were better than 6 rounds of 44. And but I was a little leery of it because I kept hearing about how the FBI rejected it because it was uncontrollable for a lot of their shooters. And I'm here to tell you that's crazy. I can't believe their shooters are that incompetent.
Oh, you can believe it. Look, here's the thing. It's a big fat grip, and if you've got a 5'0" woman, FBI trainee, and that's what they had, they couldn't shoot it. It's too big a gun. It was too powerful, et cetera, et cetera. For you and for me, it's probably not a problem. But, if you had really small hands and you weren't real strong, it could be an issue. But it's a great pistol. Now, let me ask you a question. What ammo are you shooting in it?
I'm shooting for targets. I'm shooting a SIG Performance. It's 180 grain.
Right.
And it comes out at, I don't know, 1,300 feet, something like that.
Okay.
For hunting, I'm loading it with a double tap, 200 grain, and it comes out about 1,400, I think.
Is that a lead hard cast lead bullet?
Yes, it is. And interesting you ask about that, because when I got the bullets, I looked at it and I go, oh my God, it's a lead bullet for a Glock barrel. Not good.
Right.
So I called Double Tap, and I spoke to one of their experts, and he said these rounds are made to shoot out of a Glock. They use a Glock to test the rounds, and there's some way of making that bullet that works well in the Glock barrel. I can't explain to you what he explained to me because I didn't understand it when he told me.
Well, that is great. I think you've got a great combination of range ammo and carry ammo for bears, hogs, whatever. And the penetration of those hard-cast lead bullets are quite unbelievable. Look, I appreciate it. Jim, thank you for the range report. I want to try to get Joe in here for just a second here on line 4 out of Palmer, Alaska. Speaking of Alaska, Joe, got about a minute for you, so please jump into it.
All right, Tom, real quick, got my daughter a Smith & Wesson Shield for her college graduation, and she just loves gun. We went through like 10 other subcompacts. It was really good. She shoots it well, likes the way it shoots, enjoys the grip. Now I've got a big question. I bought the idea of Glock being a safe gun to carry because the striker is cocked when you shoot the gun, analogous to shooting a double-action revolver. I find that the Shield is not. It operates off a sear. What's your thought about the safety of carrying this gun?
I don't think it's an issue either way. I think they both are equally safe. They won't go off unless you pull the trigger. There are built-in mechanisms to prevent them from going off if you haven't pulled the trigger. Either way, I don't worry about it. I find them to be, while they're not identical mechanically, functionally, and from a safety standpoint, I find them to be exactly equivalent. I wouldn't worry. I mean, I've got a Glock 42 I carry. I've got a Shield I carry at different times. The main thing is having a good holster that keeps your finger off the trigger, and I know you're doing that. So rest easy, Joe. I think you're good to go, and it's a safe mechanism. I would not worry about it. Hey, and congrats on getting your daughter shooting. And man, that is terrific. The Shield is a really good shooting gun, by the way. It's just terrific. Okay, so Missouri, the legislature overrides the veto of the governor, and they have passed constitutional carry. When we come back, we'll be talking about how it went down and what's it going to mean there, and what are the gun banners in the media saying?